Yep.
Making a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles the movie 2.
Yay!
Yay!
Wait, they are? It didn't do that. It didn't do that poorly. So I mean,
It should have.
I mean, wasn't from all accounts, it wasn't so terrible that it, deserves like all the hate that it gets.
Opinions.
Even when wrong, you're entitled to one.
Yeah, well, I didn't see it, and I am not an obsessive compulsive Ninja Turtle fan.
Me either.
Neither am I, but bad is bad. So
My
I'm
uncle
just saying I
liked it,
didn't
but he's
see it.
fairly forgiving.
Yeah. Toy Fair. So the stream today is not going to go as long because partly because I have a podcast. Whoa, I have a podcast to record at 4. So
You do?
Yeah, get the skinny episode 2.
I have 4 this week.
Yeah. Well, I have 2.
Me too.
2 is going to jump to 3.
I made the mistake. I said, it's open season. I've got the week off. Anybody want to record anything? And I got 3 hits. So if you add the one yesterday, the one I'm doing today, that's 5 in a week.
I wouldn't call this a podcast since it's.
want to be on RFC this week?
Yeah.
It's a podcast.
And it would only be like, 4 a.m. or so your time. Yeah. Something like that. Probably 2.
It's why I don't join you guys on the normal show. Because it's like 1 o'clock in the morning by the time you guys start. I stuck around long enough for you and Bill, see you and Brian have your little fight about a month ago. That was fun.
Yeah, what were we fighting about? I forgot. What was that? I remember that because I remember your comment.
Oh, yeah, the fact that Chris was away and you missed him from adding him to the
always
call.
away.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It was like, oh my god, Mum and Dad are fighting. I don't know if I can stay around.
Bless you, whoever that was. Hey, Cassius. Man, we've got.
Oh, hi, Cassius.
We've got a lot of stuff going on here. Actually, we I guess so. This is to day 2 of our Toy Fair live stream ish. We are streaming stuff about Toy Fair. I guess we want to recap what happened yesterday, and what happened yesterday was Ultra Magnus.
Yep.
Nothing else happened. There was certainly no Hero Mashers at all.
Yeah, no Hero Mashers to speak of.
No.
Yeah, I think they were all discontinued, right?
Yeah.
There's something with the Weebles. They fell down.
Oh, damn it. Don't bring that back up. I missed...
Oh, hey, remember Power Combiners?
I actually got my hands on those, so...
Yeah, I know.
And yeah, I very well remember Power Core Combiners.
Well, yeah, I mean, you would probably be the person who most remembers Power Core Combiners, because personal connections.
Personal connections.
There is a guy on the old All House called Dark Ages. You may know of him.
Yes, absolutely.
I've heard of him.
He owns every one. Every one of the Power Core Combiners is in his possession.
I do too, I think.
I have all the molds. I didn't get all the
recall.
mold or two.
I have Leadfoot, and that is obviously not the one to get because I didn't feel the need to get any more.
I think there's something wrong with you.
Yeah. Started with Huffer and I never stopped. He was the gateway drug. So yeah, Ultra Magnus, he has a cockpit. I might as well.
I'll just sign on.
Paladin's online, yeah.
Oh, you might want to ask him if he's available.
Wrong one. Yeah, here's Ultra Magnus. He's Ultra Magnusing things up. He has a cockpit.
And a little man to put in it.
Yeah. Let me know if Paladin is coming on.
I was looking at, the various coverage and reports from Toy Fair, and the first photos of Ultra Magnus on the display did not have Minimus inside, so everything works just fine if you don't have the figure in there.
Oh, sweet, so you can lose it,
Wow.
and you don't lose functionality.
Right.
This they've actually moulded in a chair, a control bay, little pedals for him.
There's control
That's-
sticks too.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Controls.
Yeah,
Little
and there's like
pedals.
panels on, like the chest panels that close. They're molded in like extra control panels in there. It's incredibly
Monitors.
detailed.
So while I am simultaneously checking the browser, testing the browser integration, I'm also showing off new Loyal Subjects toys, little vinyl model kits that are available. And Sunstreaker is adorable. And so is Rumble or Frenzy, depending on your preference of color. He's also pretty cute too. I only got a couple of these. What I got in my loot crate. They're not really my thing, but I get why people like them. Any word on Paladin?
I thought you were checking.
I can't check because I'm streaming.
Oh, for crying out loud! You are so useless.
Yes, I am.
Right.
But yeah, so also yesterday, I guess, we did get to see the Constructicons.
And they're definitely
the good news is-
Constructicons.
Yeah.
The good news is that only one of them lacks elbows.
Oh yeah.
So what are we talking about? Elbowgate? Is that what people are calling this thing?
Only people
No.
I want to hit with a
No.
hammer.
What is that?
It's the internet being the internet.
Yes.
But somebody tell us. So I saw that was a big thread on TFW or somewhere.
Oh, good.
One of them
Lord.
doesn't have an elbow. It doesn't have elbows. You know.
Scrapper does not have elbows.
Everybody panic, flee into the woods.
Mixmaster and Hook have very scary elbows.
Shelter in place.
Mixmaster, his cylinder points in a different direction than the G1 cylinder did.
I don't care about that.
Wear protective clothing.
Yeah, so we got press photos last night of everything, and my God, the mini-cons look amazing.
It's an
look-
interesting mechanic.
It is. I really do love the sprues of extra parts that they come with, shaped like Autobot and Decepticon symbols around them.
Yeah.
That is great.
So is the toy attached to the sprue?
It sure looks like it. I'm not quite sure how that works. I have a feeling that there may be parts that are like integral to the toy on the center of the sprue that are then assembled around, but I don't know.
And we also have Super Bumblebee and Mega Optimus Prime. So are those considered price points, or is that the name?
They're being presented like they're the names,
Okay.
but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, if it wasn't headline characters, I would think, we could see Mega something else or another super thing. But like the press kit information for Bumblebee has it at 19 inches tall, so it's actually bigger than Devastator.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's see.
I think with these mini cons, I'm looking at the press photos. I think they might be attached, like just pegged onto the sprues from the back, because the pictures all have them look like they're hovering over top of it.
Okay.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with whatever. I mean, obviously the toy isn't going to be coming off the sprue, out of the mold just like that. If it was,
Right.
it would be the future.
Or Bandai.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bandai can do that, believe it
Really?
or not. Yes.
Bandai has really advanced plastic frame molding techniques, which are like super proprietary.
How does it work? What does it do?
Okay,
no one
well,
knows because it's super proprietary.
But no,
but I can tell you what it's like, because I actually got a model kit like that with the most recent version of that a couple of years ago.
And Paladin's ready.
Okay, but I got a real grade Gundam model, and they have like all kinds of like inner workings to the legs, pistons, hinges, etc., and moving pistons, and the inner frame to the leg does not need assembling. It is all on one sprue. You cut it loose, and the leg hinges already work. The pistons already move. It is a fully jointed piece molded as one unit.
that's freaking crazy.
It is. They're
yeah.
amazing.
Speaking of freaking crazy. Oh wait, he's not on yet. Timing didn't work out there.
Oh well.
Speaking of freaking
Yeah.
crazy.
Try again.
Someone called?
Well, there's timing for you.
Hey, Paladin. How are you going? How are you doing?
Oh, okay.
You want to do video today, or you want to leave it off? It's fine either way.
I can leave it off if it's less of a strain on you.
It doesn't matter. So we're playing it much looser than yesterday. Actually, yesterday we played it pretty loose.
Yeah.
It's not. I wasn't obsessive compulsive as I've been. I'm obsessive compulsive. If people didn't know.
I think a good part of that was literally because we already knew about the Devastator, so it wasn't really that much of a talking point at that point.
Yeah.
By the time we did the live stream, it was mostly all about the Ultra Magnus. So it wasn't like it,
Ultra Magnus. We knew Ultra Magnus would exist, more or less.
We didn't know how awesome it was
We
going
were
to be.
pretty sure anyway.
Yeah, we just had no idea of the details, and that was really the amazing part.
there was no.
Because there's always a chance when those rumors pop up that somebody's just pulled something out of their ass.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean, if you compare this to toy fairs of the past, I mean, it's been a deluge of things over and over again that we just, it was an absolute info dump. Whereas Hero Mashers, yeah.
So question: How long is the Ultra Magnus Minimus thing been a thing for IDW?
For about 2 years.
Yeah.
So it seems that likely then that in that case that could be the comic driving the toy instead of the other way around.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
Oh, it
absolutely.
absolutely is.
Yeah.
Nobody, toy-wise, nobody would give two damns if it wasn't for that comic. It's sort of, it's gone to the point now where the White Prime in the Ultra Madness is, in people's mind views, they now call that retroactively Minimus Ambus because of that.
Mhm.
So, but we also know that in some cases it's the toy driving the comic, which historically it's always been the toy driving the comic, at least back in the day.
It's a weird thing because the only reason why we're getting the Combiner Wars arc in the IDW is because of the toys.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But
Which is a good
it's-
cross promotion for everyone.
It's a good balance if we're getting toys based on the comic designs, especially the ones that Nick Roach and Alex Milner now have all designed. So, people complaining about the toys driving their comics, it's still a toy license. So, it's always going to happen.
I like the division IDW has with that though, where like more than BCI stuff drives toy design, the toys drive formerly robots in disguise
Yeah.
to an extent.
It's
So I mean, it kind of works out for everybody.
Yeah, it's a lovely circle now where the actual media's driving the toys, where we've always had years upon years upon years of the toys being made first, and then the media's had to adapt to go with those toys. So I actually don't have a problem with the comics having to adhere to the toys every now and then. I know it's blatant that guy is only there because his toy was there, but the only reason why we have, say, oh god, what's his name, the Grey Skids, is because he was the repaint of Skids, which nobody would give to.
Crosscut. Yeah.
Thank you.
Crosscut.
The only reason why he exists because of Skids, a character which nobody would give two craps about if it wasn't for More Than Meets the Eye. So it's a compromise.
Now, I cared about Skids before More Than Meets the Eye came along.
I cared about Skids more than Meets the Eye came along. He got the ladies. He got sponge baths.
Yeah.
It's
Chris is the only one that I know of really that give a crap about Skids. Well, two, you guys, both of you, but that I spoke to on like a semi-daily basis. So
Yeah.
when More Than Meets the Eye came out, there was a sudden need from people to buy that G1 toy, and I was like, "You've got to be freaking kidding
he's
me!"
not a good toy.
I already had that G1 toy.
Yeah.
Because
Had the reissue. It was on clearance.
Yeah.
You know, the only alternator I ever bought was Skids.
Really?
Now that Skids alternator, that was really good.
I
That
forgot-
that was just about the best of the
Which
lot.
which mold was he?
The Scion.
Boxy van thing.
Yeah.
Scion XB.
Is that the one that Broad Blast was?
Blaster, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I had Broad Blast, but or was it Broadcast? Broadcast was the original. I think the new name they use is Broad Blast. Or maybe I'm confusing it. There are too many. Reconciling U.S. and Japanese names is not always the easiest thing when it's not Convoy.
Yeah, Broadcast is the Japanese name of Blaster.
Yes.
Unless you follow Stardom, in which he's Billy. Billy Broadcast.
And
Yeah,
then
Give him
there's
full name.
and then the upgrade was Twincast, right?
Twincast.
Right.
Yeah. Which I've got over there.
I've got Twincast as well. I love Twincast.
Yep.
So, I don't know. Was it did Hasbro use the name Broad Blast then? Somebody used the name Broad Blast.
I don't think so.
Okay. Hey, you know what we didn't see that I want more of? I want more Robots in Disguise Grimlock.
Why?
He's awesome. I just picked up the Legends figure, the Legion class figure yesterday, and I loved it. I didn't get it. I skipped it. So I had the Warrior class, and I had the gigantic 3-step changer. But I think my favorite one is actually the Legion class figure. I think I'm really going to enjoy Robots in Disguise, especially if it's what they're saying. It's going to be more fun, and not Transformers Prime.
Yeah, Transformers Prime could get pretty
When
heavy.
Transformers Prime was good, it was really good.
Mm-hmm.
When it was good, it was really good, but, getting from point to point was not always the most fun thing. I could take a little bit more of a less intense series if it means, every episode's going to be more entertaining on average.
Yeah. I thought that Beast Hunters was the reward we got for surviving through seasons 1 and 2 because it was
Cutting it down to
especially
13
season 2.
episodes for the third season was probably to their advantage greatly because it cut out all the filler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is true. It's just a shame that it ended the way it ended. But then again, if Robots in Disguise is meant to be like coexisting in the canon, then I'm down with that because at least we don't have Prime yet. So it'd be nice to explore other characters other than the main bunch. So I'm looking forward to it. It does look really, really fun. We're going to get it in this country around about the same time you guys are, actually. I think it's going to be beginning of March when we get
So
ours.
you're getting it late, too.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not Chinese. We're not Chinese and we're not French, so...
I'm fine with that.
It started somewhere this weekend, I believe.
I think it was France.
I think
Taiwan.
all 13 episodes are already online in China.
It's China. So, no, but yeah.
That China there.
Question. So, obviously it's going to be in Chinese. We'll have the secondary audio layer where you could listen to it, like, on the secondary audio channel to listen to it in English.
We gotta wait for the Philippines to dub it into English first so we can appreciate the full splendor.
Do they do SAP? I guess if it's over the internet, they don't have SAP.
Probably not.
Yeah, that sucks. So I actually would like to watch that.
Well, I mean, as a guy that acquires anime, there's some really talented people now that do dual audio and multi-audio anime now, so not necessarily a hard thing to do these days.
But our streaming system's set up to do that.
Netflix does. Netflix does multi-language now.
I mean, the file delivery systems in general do support multiple audio tracks, but I don't I'm thinking on the level of something like YouTube, because I think that's more like what the Chinese streaming site would be like, just a flash player in a browser. I don't know if that's quite caught up to that yet, or if there's even the demand for it to have done, but it's possible. Probably China's not interested in providing media with English language options.
And that's why you
Yeah.
take it to the Philippines and have them dub it into English first before we listen to it in the proper English. It's the way
So
it
an
works. It's how it
An
works.
English series translated and dubbed in Chinese, which is then translated back into English and redubbed.
Well,
Where
that's
did it
how
go from there?
Transformers came to be. I mean, take China away, put Japan in. That's how it worked for them to begin with. So why not?
I think basically the idea is we just need more Omni Productions Transformers.
Omnipresence, Omnibots.
Well, that took a leap, didn't it?
Well, it's word association. I think
The
of
word that- it's stretching. It's the word.
So, on the subject of the new Robots in Disguise figures, is that Jazz just heavily modified from Beast Hunter's Bumblebee, or is it kind of the Starscream Smoke Opera thing all over again?
I
It's
believe
hard
we
to
did
tell.
hear it is. I'm pretty sure somebody at the presentation said it was a remold of Jazz. Or Bumblebee. Thank you, Brain.
Narf.
Wait.
Let's see. Actually, we'll look at the pictures myself now.
You can kind of see it in the arm design.
I mean, it certainly could be just like with a hood shell over top of it.
Oh, guys, update. Right now, Diecast is at the Kinex booth, and he is getting all sorts of information from Kinex. So, I think
Good
Kinex is
for
pretty-
him.
I think Kinex is pretty awesome.
I like the build your own dart gun thing.
Yeah. So,
Well, anything that lets you build weapons.
Yes.
so people, people expecting like news and stuff from today. I don't expect a lot of news. This is mostly just a chance for us to
Hang
sit
out
around and hang
talk
out.
about
So,
stuff.
yeah,
Talk about Ultra Magnus.
talk about Ultra Magnus. So we're not going to be breaking a lot of news today, but we're going to be just chatting about toys because it's Sunday. What else are we going to do?
To be
So,
absolutely
Rob.
honest, the Bandai stuff mainly is good. Dino Charge is a thing.
Yeah, they're probably the worst in show right now.
Mhm.
It's kind of Bandai's normal track, at least with the Power Rangers stuff, that, they reveal one way or another a lot of their product line right from the start. So Toy Fair doesn't really have a lot of stuff to show that we don't know about yet. I think the only surprise was yesterday we found out about the black and gold Megazord recolor, which had not been talked about before.
It's a floodgate though, because if they're going to do that with that Megazord, you just know they're going to do it with Tor and Titanus and the Dragon Zord,
Dragonzord.
because
Ti-
that's what they
Titanus.
did back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and there's your next year's legacy products, because this year is going to be the Legacy Megazord reissue in the summer and the black and gold one after that. So
Mm.
next year they can do reissues of Dragonzord and Titanus in black and gold or compatible coloring.
I am kind of perplexed at what they name dropped for future legacy items, though.
Yep. Serpentera and Tor.
And Pyramidas.
Yes,
Hey, I'd take Pyramidas.
Hey, I mean,
Oh,
but that's
but it
skipping
makes no
forward an
sense.
entire year.
It makes
Well,
no
yeah,
sense.
they said they're going to do the legacy stuff in chronological order too, so I really don't know why they mentioned Pyramidas already.
Yeah,
I
they still
think
haven't done the
they've-
Thunder Zords.
I think
Yeah,
they're going
Don't
to.
they ask
Ninja
us
Zords and
Zords?
Shogun Zords to do.
I think obviously because that's going to be their bigger things, because Titanus is huge, Serpentera is huge, Tor is freaking massive. I think it's a case of whoever's done the press releases for those has jumped the gun a little bit, because they've got to do more work on those, whereas something like the Shogun Zords, the Thunder Megazord and all of that, they're smaller pieces that combine. But they've got to be releasing those. They've got to. Because
That's what we said about the Dragon Zord, and it took 4 freaking years.
This is
Quite
true.
true.
No, but
Why do they need Legacy
uh,
Tor anyway? Just keep the box that Legacy Titanus came in. It costs just as much and has just as much play value.
Well, for the functional side, keep Legacy Tiger Zord's box, because it's performing exactly the same function Tor does.
Shove the Tiger Zord in, stand the Thunder
and-
Zord on top of it. There you
At
go.
least with the Tiger Zord, it's a one Zord transformation thing. You can have a robot mode and you can have the Tiger mode without anything else to combine it with. I mean, it's the extra garnish, but at least you could argue the Tiger Zord can work as its own thing.
And it frequently did in the show. But Tor has a robot mode too.
I know. I'm looking at
Yeah,
it
so you
right now.
can stand the box up on the end, and there you go.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Point the arms forward.
He makes a nice nursery mode for the Tiger Zord.
Exactly.
In its crib, and you sing lullabies to it and walk away.
And based on their previous patterns, I would have guessed Legacy Falcon Zord would be next.
Well, that was kind of what I was expecting.
Yeah.
See, my
Yeah.
ideal thing was, you have Legacy Dragon Zord, plop that down on top of the Tiger Zord, and get a Falcon Zord to plug in the back of it. Then you have Legacy Tommy Ultra Zord. mean, it makes sense.
Oh
And
god.
I'm sure that's why the Legacy Shogun Zords will get the white limb because they have to promote Tommy somehow.
We'll
You-
get only the white limb.
You need to get the red Zeo Zord to then put on top of the Falcon Zord, so you got the 2 bird action going on.
You know,
And
if they
then
do
just-
Pyramidas. Okay, so think about how the Zeo Ultra Zord works. When it's in the upright configuration, all you can see is Pyramidas and the Red Battle Zord peeking over the top of it. So all they need to do is do Legacy Pyramidas and the Legacy Red Battle Zord, and
Use imagination.
exactly. Do like all the kids did back then when they couldn't get all the pieces, and just ignore the empty space inside where the Zeo Megazord should be.
Oh god.
No,
bless
but
you,
like I
Marcus.
think the problem with the Thunder Megazord that I see is just the way it assembles doesn't work well with the Zord Builder system.
Now, see, I want to see a Legacy Mega Voyager. I want to see how they'd work that one out.
Well, I would like that just to have an intact Mega Voyager that hasn't been colored on in Sharpie and sold with deceptive photos. But like, no, I mean, there's all kinds of Legacy Zords that I would be interested in. Like, if they did a Legacy Astro Megazord to the same standard they're doing the Tiger Zord, increasing the posability, making the details more show-like. I mean, I would really be behind that. Astro Megazord is one of my
that'd be
favorite
the easiest one
standalone.
to add articulation to.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite standalone Megazord designs.
Mhm.
I know, that thing's huge, isn't it?
Freaking and oh.
Ultimately, I really want Legacy to just move out of the Mighty Morphin black hole.
Yeah, I mean, I want them to get through at least Ninja Zord before they move on from Mighty Morphin. Because, like,
Yeah.
Ninja Zords were great with Zord Builder.
You've got to.
I always like the Shogun Zords. That's one of my favorite designs. So I would kind of like to have a Legacy version.
They got to, just for the novelty factor, make it the right size so it can fit into Titanus, just so you can have the bullshit mode. where in the show, it was blatantly the toy being dragged along by strings
Yeah, in a parking garage.
in a parking garage.
Yeah, the Thunder Megazord is my favorite design, but I already have a Thunder Megazord, so I can do without a Legacy version. So
I mean, exactly the same with the Mighty Morphin kit.
If somebody wanted to get into Power Rangers, say I wanted to dip my toe into buying something, besides saying don't, what should I do? What got JD into Power Rangers?
I don't even remember.
Well, what would get me into it? What I like that I would appreciate, or what's out there that I would appreciate?
Well, you might try the current show that's just starting for...
I know what drove me with Power Rangers wasn't so much the fact that it had Oscar-winning acting. Oh wait, no, it didn't. Or the fantastic movie-like effect. No, it didn't.
no way.
It was the
Even
fact
the
it
movie
was just
didn't have that.
CGI.
Movies.
It's just like it was rubbish. It was utter bloody rubbish. You had these guys fighting these rubber poop monsters every single week. There was the whole morphing time. It was all catchy. It was just a bit of nonsense to start your day with.
Is there anything recently that would remind me of Dynaman?
Dynaman.
I've never seen
Well-
Dynaman. I couldn't tell you.
Oh, come on. It's
No,
on YouTube. There's only 6 episodes.
I mean, Dynaman. That might well be. Was it Super Cyber Samurai Cyber Squad?
Superhuman Samurai
Samurai
Cyber
Cyber
Squad.
Squad.
If Power Rangers was like Dynaman with every series, I would watch it.
That'd be season 2, where Tommy was in every single episode on his own because he couldn't afford the footage to have him next to the others.
But it wasn't written the same way. That's kind of the problem.
Yeah. It was a serial. They had to in order to spread the wealth. No, there was next to no episode in season 2 where it was just a standalone episode. It was always to be continued for next week because we didn't have the funds to actually fund a single episode. Just stretch it
That was
along.
season 3 where they did that.
That was season 3. Was all the multi-parters.
Season 3 was the absolute zenith
Yeah.
of that. But season 2 is where that started. Season 3 was just like, let's do 5-part serials because we just want to get these toys done and out the way.
Well,
Wait,
like with all
about
the
a month?
multi-part episodes and stuff in season 3, like looking back on it, I feel like that's the point where the writers were like really invested in the characters and the setting they were working on, more so than making something that's accessible to new viewers that were 5 years old. You know, I think there was something of a decline through season 3 in Zeo, and probably the first half of Turbo 2, because that was pretty terrible. You know, until they did like the full out cast change. I think it was really a case of they're really just like circling here without actually doing anything to bring any new life into it.
So
They
am I the
were-
only person that actually liked Zeo?
I like Zeo.
Okay.
It was
I
okay.
will defend Zeo. It was fine.
But
It
in
was
terms
enough of me
of-
to go buy that piece of crap, even though it is indeed a piece of crap. You know, because I then nearly brained myself with it.
In terms of ratings, though, Zeo was a low point.
It was slowly going down anyway, because the absolute peak that they brought in with Mighty Morphin was just crashing and burning by that point. And somehow Turbo peaked enough for them to renew it, because Turbo was going to end the series. That was it.
Actually, I thought they had enough to bring it back for one more season in Space, and that's why In Space was better, because they were just going to do, screw it, we're going to just do everything we wanted to do
Yeah.
because it's the last year.
And then they had to make up half of it with original footage for In Space because it wasn't actually a Sentai about being in space.
Yeah.
Mostly because they were hovering around the Earth on Mega Ranger was the sole reason why it was in space.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Which
like
doesn't really
saying-
make sense with Mega Ranger's theme, but
No.
Nah.
it's video game based, so why is there a spaceship, a moon base? What?
Because
I don't care,
computers
because those
are-
Megazords were awesome.
Well, yeah, it's just the two things don't really go together that well, do they?
Except for the Megwinger, that sucked.
Well,
But
Well, Zane.
while we're still talking about Power Rangers, whilst there's nothing else to talk about, I watched the second episode of Dino Charge this morning.
Oh, I didn't, so don't say anything.
Yeah, I have not yet.
Well, let's talk about episode 1 then. What did you think about that?
Oh, it was a great start.
It was. Season 2 episode 2 was continued on with that. I kind of like the cast.
Good.
The green guy was pretty good. I still don't know what Coda's deal is, apart from, hey, caveman. And I kind of like Chase. I kind of like this. I'm having a good feeling about this one.
Now, Green's the one that wasn't in the first episode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They introduce him at the beginning, and they literally tell you what his deal is and all that other stuff, and how they can justify him being the sword man in the Kyuranger footage. If I pronounced that right, because
And it's like
Not at
3
all.
years later and nobody can still pronounce that name.
I really can't. Koryuja.
Kyo
carrying on the-
Ryuger.
He's
If I-
carrying on JD's spirit.
Because they came up with this reason why he's a swordsman. I can't tell you because you haven't seen it, but it
Right.
works in the context of the footage.
Okay.
Good.
And they also established his family connections with that, which are slightly like in the Japanese show, but different enough so you can actually appeal to it from its Americanization.
Well, I remember reading the character descriptions when the casting sheets first went out, so I think we do have a little insight as to the future of the series when we meet his family.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know about his brother and stuff then. Yeah.
Right. But right now,
Basically-
I'd really like to find a place to actually watch this online because it's locked on nick.com unless you can prove you have a
YouTube.
cable provider with their channel.
YouTube. I watched it on YouTube this morning. There's
Calvin,
about
do you not
10
get Nick on
billion.
your cable package?
No.
Oh.
Hmm.
Well,
There was a gazillion uploads this morning on YouTube. So unless they've torn them all down within a course of a few hours, then it's there. It's just a matter of looking for it.
There was at least one stream of episode 1 that was up on YouTube for a couple of days, because that's how I saw it. So
I think there's one still up.
Yes,
Okay.
I saw that this morning as well.
so cycling back around to where we started, like, with the Legacy Zords,
So
Just because the Thunder Megazord works so differently, I would like to see how they would adapt that to a Zord Builder system.
Hmm.
Because, I mean, if they're going to make that, it would have to be compatible with all the other technology.
I think it'll be kind of like the Tiger Zord, where the rear legs just come off below the knee. I think that's pretty much what they do with the Red Dragon. So, and so
Yeah, and I don't know how
you'll
to-
just have lower legs standing off to the side somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know how I would feel
Dragon
about.
has to stick on something somewhere.
I mean, parts forming is not a new thing to Megazord designs, but it wasn't like, at least for the Red Dragon, it was not a big part of how it transformed and combined. Originally, I don't know how I would feel about having that introduced into the design. The only thing you really had that with the original Red Dragon was moving the dragon head from the end of a leg onto the chest.
The chest, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
But otherwise, it was pretty
Not the tail to the
self-contained.
crotch, but yeah.
Well, that's unimportant. I mean, it's not like there was just, you had to move the head. That was the only major chunk that had to be taken off and switched places. And for combining, all of that stayed on anyway. So, if it was a case of having to like pull legs or even arms off to make the Thunder Megazord, I think something would be kind of lost there, because the way it worked originally was actually pretty neat at the time, where it basically just all armored up onto it. But like the Tiger Zord, the way it's made, that's probably an indication of, if they ever do it, it is going to be where the leg Zords just plug on.
Yeah,
And don't
whatever doesn't
slide
work, the Zord Builder is going to set off to the side somewhere. So
Yeah. Which, yeah, kind of disappointing. Does the Tiger Zord have ports on the top of its shoulder pieces where the lion paws
idea.
conceivably
I think
plug
it
on?
might, yes. I saw it could fold down into that position from some reviews.
It seems to me like, they're doing the smart thing and making sure that all the connections are in the right place in case they do Thunder Zords later, which
Yeah.
is going to really inform the design a lot.
The only thing is, it doesn't look like it's got LED lights now. It just looks like painted bits for the nubbins. But I'm not all that bothered about it, because everyone remember the vintage one? With
Never had it.
I had it.
Yeah, I still got it. It's not there at the moment, but yeah, those things popped off so easily.
Oh yeah.
My Tiger Zord actually turned brown, so I used parts from it to help Hey Mickey complete his, including the red domes.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine is actually made from about 3 different Tiger Zords.
As far
that
as I
thing's
understand,
yellowed
that's not
so much.
uncommon.
Yeah, it just yellows so much. It's one of those, just do not put in front of any light source at all. Not just sunlight, any light source.
I mean, mine was in a dark box for years, and it still turned brown.
Mm-hmm.
You should do
That
what Don
plastic
does.
What does Miracle Whip have to do with this?
He puts everything. He puts a blanket over everything.
I really don't think that would help in this case. And again, it was in a dark box.
So I mentioned this. I mention this all the time, but it's the best thing ever. Going into his apartment, in his bedroom, he has Fort Max and Grand Max standing beside of his bed with a blanket over top of each one. It's pretty great. He had like a sun yellowed Raiden in like his toy room, like the light like straight on it. Everything is like holy grails for most people, just strewn about. It's makes me sad. Makes me so very sad.
So, Rob.
Yeah.
Looking at the stock photo of Jazz's robot mode, that's totally a shot lancer he's carrying, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I was thinking that yesterday.
Yeah. Like, I'm all for non-conventional weapons, but,
Yes. Speaking of, in case anybody's interested, here is a picture of the real grade Gundam kit. It's the one I have, and at the bottom is a picture of the sprues with like fully working arms and legs.
Yeah, let's see.
I'm looking.
And this is And this is only about like 5 inches tall when it's done.
Yeah, I mean, you know, what they did a long time ago, starting out with doing multiple colors on one sprue, was pretty interesting in itself, but, you know, molding like complex layered pieces with moving parts and everything that don't need assembly, it's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very
You know,
nice
you
looking.
think it's something amazing when like you can get a link chain printed on shapeways or something. But I mean, this is kind of a completely different thing.
Yeah.
Is this called a real grade kit? What is this?
Okay. The two main grades of gun model are high grade, which is generally 1/144 scale, and master grade, which is 1/100.
Yeah.
Real grade is like master grade level quality at the high grade size. So yeah, this is like one of the smaller, like 4 or 5 inch tall figures, with the, you know, like 6, 8 inch tall figure level of complexity.
So the one master grade kit that I had was the GP01 FB, basically this Gundam, but like chrome.
Mm-hmm.
So I really like the look of this. How long did it take to put this one together?
It took me probably, I don't even know. I did it over the course of a couple of days. I'm not sure I even got back to the weapons yet, but it was a while back. There was a promo for Gundam Battle Operation in it, or so I thought. So I went and pre-ordered it like a fool.
It's very nice looking.
It is.
It makes me want to buy one, but I don't want to put it together is the problem.
Yeah, I will give this advice just from my experience. You can probably see there's the core fighter there in the chest of both, and as they often do, that kind of makes the construction a little bit fragile. So you might want to go for something with like a solid torso for your first one of these.
So it looks like Mega Bloks is doing Terminator sets to the same design of like the Call of Duty and Halo stuff.
Yeah.
Which is kind of wise when you think about it, since there's going to be a slightly militaristic theme to it anyhow.
Yeah. And I mean, look at it this way, too. You can get Mega Bloks endoskeleton figures built like the little Call of Duty guys. But little articulated robot skeletons.
Yes.
Who could ask for more?
I also like the Mega Bloks endoskeleton bust with the light-up eyes.
Surely that's just a display piece. Not an actual
Probably.
kit.
Maybe? I mean, it has done a little plaque and everything. Who knows?
I mean, that would be a big, expensive kit, but I'm sure somebody would want it.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks really nice. It would totally suit someone who's looking for like a complex build.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more about the minifigures.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at these toe box things that were on the
They have toe
RFC
bots there?
stream. Yeah, there's toe bots in here now. I'm looking at one right now.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm looking at that very picture right now.
They're getting better, I think.
Looks okay, I guess.
I'm looking at these combined ones, and they kind of giving off a bit of a was it Transformers Go combiner theme to me. Especially that one there. It's really, really garish, but kind of cool at the same time.
Yeah, I can kind of see it.
Yeah. It's combiners from, well, we don't have a lot of experience making things combine, let's just stack them.
Mm-hmm.
The Get a Robo style of doing it.
Yep.
But these are the Korean robot line that Vangelis has been kind of into, right?
Yeah.
Sounds familiar that way.
That's interesting. These are these are big, complex, electronic, heavy toys, which are expensive. I wonder what kind of pricing they'll have if they're released here.
It's a good question. There's also one smaller, more deluxe-ish sized one that I really like the looks of, actually.
Oh, the mini Tobot?
Yeah.
Tobot X.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard good things about these. If they're cheap enough, they're worth looking at.
Yeah.
It's the fact that they come with the little figurines as well. I kind of dig these little Japanese anime-esque figurines that come with them. They kind of remind me of Kiss Players, right? Making me feel dirty.
I thought
Are
you
you,
said
are
they
you
remind me
sure
of
they
fist
are still
players.
little kids?
Well, except for that, you got this weird chap there with the hair and the glasses. I'm not sure he's meant to be a kid.
Hmm. I wonder.
I'd rather you don't.
Let's see what else is coming up.
Another giant ass bumblebee.
Of
Yeah,
course!
I kind of want it
Yeah,
Why do they keep making those?
because
Because
they
it's the
sell.
leader of the
Yes.
Autobots!
because kids keep buying those.
Do kids or parents desperate to find something that'll shut them up for 5 minutes?
It doesn't matter. I mean, it really doesn't. I mean, I'm right there with you. A few fewer bumblebees would be nice, but I did like the Creo combiner yesterday that kind of puts the lampshade on that whole thing. But
You should marry them and have them sort of combine with the other one, with the Optimus Prime one, and just make some really weird looking thing out of it. Well, when a Bumblebee and an Optimus Prime love each other very much, yeah, come up with this.
Well, I mean, they're Creons. You can just plug them into each other like that.
That's what she said. Anyway,
So, Magnus is listed in the official descriptions as released in spring. What are we thinking? April, maybe?
yes.
wait, really?
Probably more like summer.
Tomorrow.
Okay. Well, considering that, we don't even have Megatron out in the U.S. yet, and there's still Thundercracker to go through after.
I'm going to say June.
And
I'm just
it's a solid case. It's a solid case of Megatron in 2 varieties. That's not going to go anywhere fast. Thundercracker is a solid case of just Thundercracker. That's not going to go very fast.
No. Going by previous toy fairs when we've seen these things come out, it'll be the early summer, late August, because we were talking at great length about that Jetfire last year, and that was still a highly sought thing come August. But then again, I live in the UK where that thing wasn't possible anyhow. But that's beside the point. It seems to
didn't
be
come out here until about September either. I don't think, did it?
I think that's
No.
about right, yeah.
So if they're saying spring, I'd say more shoot for the early summer because it'll be close enough to the end of spring by the time these things come out.
It's still earlier than I was expecting, though. I was expecting that to be probably more about the time Jetfire came out, so...
It may well end up being that anyway.
Yeah, but still, I'm going to have to put in a pre-order for that somewhere, because I'm not even going to leave that up to chance.
Yeah, I know.
Well, it seems to be the big leader in the
like
gang.
you said, the other 2 cases are just ending up shelf warming.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's more a matter of, like, if those shell form magnets may not ship, very widely because, too much stuff on the shelves.
I've noticed a few people saying that it's negating the need to have an MP Magnus now. I'm not sure, because MP Magnus was always going to be a niche thing anyway. This was always going to be the mass retail Magnus. So there's some people that have been kind of a bit miffed that it's come out so soon after the MP Magnus. But when you think about it, it really hasn't. Because they're 2 totally different bullpens when you think about it. You've got, like I said, MP Magnus, December time. He's there purely for the collectors. Purely. And at the moment, it's still a Takara exclusive. This is going to be the one people are going to get. I can
Now,
still
what's going to
see
be
them...
interesting is come SDCC when they announce, Toys R Us exclusive Masterpiece Ultra Magnus this fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't actually have any MPs on display this time. It's weird. I thought there
No,
was
they
that
didn't.
rumor kicking around about Blue Streak.
There was a picture of that in the background of German Toy Fair.
Yeah. So,
But we didn't see any of the reissue stuff either, did we?
No.
No.
I forgot, does stuff still get added to the Hasbro booth on the second day, or is that pretty much not done anymore?
I don't think that happens.
I'm wondering in the case of Blue Streak, though, I know it's a bit of a rarity, but maybe Blue Streak's possibly a European exclusive for the time being, with it being German Toy Fair.
It's possible.
Yeah. I mean, we haven't really had anything like that for a long time now, but the fact that you've had no bearing on Blue Streak at this Toy Fair, yet there was a sort of a whiff of it at the German one. I think it's, again, two different markets. I think that was probably more for this side of the continent than yours. For the time being, anyway.
Could be. It also could be that they're holding it back as a quote-unquote reveal for BotCon, since most of everything is going to fall at either Toy Fair or Comic-Con otherwise.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of what I was thinking, too. Like, because SDCC doesn't really serve Europe any, and, people travel to BotCon, but BotCon's still mostly focused on what's happening in the United States.
Yep.
So it would make sense to show this stuff in Nuremberg, and it was probably at London too. It's just nobody talked about that. So
I'll be honest, I barely register anything when it comes to the UK Toy Fair.
I think it's just chance that there was a window right there for somebody to take a picture through, and that the bald guy was standing where he was, so we could see that stuff clearly. It makes sense, though, for the European events to go ahead and show those, since there's not going to be another venue for those to come up a little later on.
I still think Hasbro should utilize on this now. Whenever they want to do a teaser image, like in a magazine or something, they should put like a cartoon bald man in front of the picture so that it completely obscures, and all you can see is like a little hand or something peeking out from the side of his bald head. Look what we've got to show you! Look at the glorious official Hasbro watermark we're using. Do you like it? Do you have a sense of humor?
A bald dude in a suit will just become the new Hasbro mascot.
Yeah. In the front of him, he's just got this sly smile to his face, say, "I do this for a living. They pay me $100 an hour."
I think it'd just be a cartoon bald man. Not a real one.
Most people get paid like $7 an hour to do that, so he is pretty well paid to just stand there.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Been consuming food. Let me turn my video back on. Much better.
I'm a professional. I don't do such things.
Well, I can't turn my video off. It's okay. I run the stream, so I have total control. I'm actually doing that and trying to manage a couple of other things as well. If anyone out there is friends with me on Facebook, I just, the last hour, posted a bunch of JD's toys for sale. And most of them had sold through.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
That's good.
Yeah. Of course, I have like a tenth of what Don has.
Yeah.
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 I'm in a weird place because I'd kind of like to get the legendary morpher off of him from Power Rangers Super Mega Force, but if I got it for a price I'd be willing to pay, I'd feel like a jerk for paying that little to Amanda. So
well, we're pretty much so the way that I'm doing everything, and this is of course nothing to do with the live stream of what we're talking about, but since we're not paying eBay fees, we're trying to. I'm selling everything at the low end of eBay, so that it's more likely to sell. Amanda gets the exact same amount of money, etc., etc.
Okay.
So, like, we sold Wing Saber for $40.
Not bad.
Yeah. Which sometimes he goes for 60 or so, but once you take out eBay fees.
Don't even get me started about Wing Saber. Yeah. I had a bet that's been going on for about 4 to 5 years now with Adam Slater off of Auto Assembly. And I bet him that I could get Energon Wing Saber for less than, I think it was £45. And I still haven't managed.
Yeah.
I still haven't managed. It's getting to the point now where I'm actually going to have to pay up soon.
I like Wing Saber. It's not much of a toy, but it's pretty.
Yeah.
Nicole in the chat is telling us not to knock the bee.
Oh,
She still
Nicole.
loves the little guy.
We could have Nicole on. She could sign everything she's saying. Nicole was supposed to be on, but she lost her voice from being at an Earth, Wind, and Fire concert last night, or wherever it was.
I think she should come on anyway, just for comedy value.
Yeah.
Can someone find like a speaking spell, maybe?
I found one at Goodwill a couple weeks ago, and it was not as awesome as I remembered as a kid.
I think she should get one of those little word things that Stephen Hawkins uses and just type it in, and she can contribute that way. That would be fun. Because we could tease her, and it will take her about 5 minutes to write out her insults to us.
Well, I mean, that comes standard with Windows. It would just be a way of getting that audio funneled into the Skype call.
Does that actually come built into Windows now? Yeah, I guess it does.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I think it's built into my copy of XP Tablet, matter of fact.
You have a copy of XP Tablet?
Well,
Yeah,
I have a tablet.
computer.
Yeah. One of the really early hybrid tablets with the Wacom screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one of those. That's the laptop that is not up to streaming anymore, so which is why you don't see me.
Oh. So it has a Wacom tablet built into it.
Yes, it does.
Interesting.
It's going to be such a bother when I want to replace that.
Because you want to be able to draw and stuff?
Yeah, and I've tried using like external tablets, and there's just such a disconnect.
Yeah, I know.
I have not, I've been practicing with it on and off, and it just does, it's going to take forever for me to be able to do anything with that.
You know what? I have to say that Android is pretty much as good as Windows XP, and the Note 3 is a fantastic tablet.
Okay.
Not the Note 3. I mean the Note tablet is a fantastic tablet. You could probably, I think, the last generation one you could probably get relatively inexpensively, and it's Android. Again, it's not Windows, but it's phenomenal. What I have, the
You
tablet.
might could get a used Surface too by the time you're ready to replace that laptop.
Oh yeah, the Surface is great. The Surface, of course, is even better. And by the time you're ready to replace it, you can get Windows 10 instead of Windows 8.
Yeah, and didn't I hear the Surface actually has a Wacom screen too?
I don't know that it's Wacom, but it's got a digitizer.
Yeah, I think the Surface Pro it is Wacom. I will have to look into that. That's kind of where I've been leaning when I finally do go to replace it. But obviously, with BotCon expenses, that will probably be next year.
Yeah,
at the
probably.
earliest.
So, hey, I've got this a bit of a debate going on with my wife at the moment, because about a month ago she got hold of the Samsung Galaxy Tab 2.
Oh, the giant phone.
Yes, thank you. She puts a SIM card in it. She can put an SD card in it. She can accept phone calls. She can make phone calls out of it.
Yet we don't. Excuse me.
No.
Don't expect it to be a phone.
I don't know if you heard that.
Yeah.
Soph says that her phone company don't consider it a phone, so it's not a phone. It's a phone. It's totally a phone. You can put it up to your ear. You can put it on silent mode, so you can just hear out of the earpiece. You can speak through it. It's a phone. It's the size of my head, but it's a phone.
Yeah, the international version of that is a phone. The US version isn't.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get hold of it now.
Like, I don't use a phone, so if I had a tablet that I could use as a phone.
That's a phone.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just
It now has Farmville.
yeah.
It's a phone.
I don't have this video up for you guys to see, but I'm holding it up for people watching here, and I've got the same thing. It's just not a phone here.
It's too bad you had the earphones connected there, because she could have just heard me say, "Oh, the giant phone."
Yeah.
That would have solved the whole thing.
It gets better than that. Hang on. Let me just go to. Let's see. Where are you, Sophie? Tab.
Oh no!
Come on. I don't know if you can hear that. She's turned the volume down. It's a phone!
Yeah. It's a phone.
Oh,
Well,
stop
and you
doing
saw
something.
the thing I sent you the Amazon link for that she need the headset thing.
Yeah,
Oh
but
my!
it's not a phone.
Again, because this is much looser than yesterday, I just want to comment on the tweet you retweeted, Chris. The Skyrim mod.
What was it?
The you no, oh, never mind. It was Fort Max. It just says Chris retweeted, so it's something Fort Max retweeted. Never mind.
Yeah. I've gotten to the point where I can pretty much discern which Chris by what's being retweeted.
Yeah. This one's just this one is just absurd. So it could have gone either way. So the Tobots, did everybody see those?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's
I
why you were
think
getting
so.
food.
Yeah, just getting back onto it now. I said it kind of reminds me of Kiss Players without any of the awkwardness.
Oh, is that what you were talking about?
Yes.
No, these have people with them?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't see that. I just saw the. Oh, they do.
Yeah, little
Oh,
anime.
no. Oh no, never mind. I retract my interest in those.
Ah.
Just throw them away.
Yeah, just do like a city commander to them and just put them in the bottom of your bin.
You know, now that I think of it, Human Alliance is basically the same thing without the 6A.
Yeah.
You gotta add
Depends
the
if you
A.
define sex, Kilby.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I mean, if you like men in uniform, that would be the thing for you.
Okay, so actually yesterday we were all talking about the snow, and Diecast had to put up with snow in New York, and also, God, he's a trooper. There's the fire department had to come out to his hotel last night because
I was
of a
hoping
fire.
the snow would put it out.
Why did he set the hotel on fire?
I don't know, but apparently I'm getting snow tomorrow, so I should have, not made fun of him.
No, it's fine.
We
Yeah.
got ours today, but the wind was the worst part, so...
Yeah, I heard the wind in Baltimore was really, really bad.
Yeah.
I am going to... Are we going to talk about Mattel, since we've got the stream
Yeah,
up?
we're talking about
Do
what
we
wanna
have
talk
to?
about. Yes.
Yeah, we should, because... Haha! 2000X He-Man! That's a thing now. Welcome to officially the bottom of the well. It's an awesome bottom. You have to reach right down to the bottom to get him. But we're getting 2000X He-Man in his snake
So
armor.
they're doing Masters of the Universe Classics New He-Man.
Is that what that is? They're doing that? I mean, that what?
Yeah.
They've exhausted the character roster, so I mean they're squeezing everything they can.
That's like doing.
Apparently the dead cow wasn't out of milk yet.
That's like doing encore editions of animated or something.
Something
There
like
we
that.
There we go.
Let me pull that up. I completely misunderstood all the tweets that he sent out.
Yep. So we got that, and we're getting King Hiss and the Snake Men as well. It's so fun. I have no vested interest in getting any of these, but it's still freaking cool that 2000X is getting a blinking nod in this line.
Oh, John
John
Dolan
Williams
just signed
online.
on.
Oh, John. Okay, yeah, John.
And there's a 4-inch scale DC Multiverse Batman Beyond soon.
Yeah, that's all cool and that, but the really cool thing is Jean-Paul Vallée's coming back in the toy line. In 2015, the Batman that is synonymous with the extreme 90s is getting a toy.
Which suit are they using?
I
Is
would
there an
probably-
image for that?
I would buy that
The blue
actually.
one.
The actual proper Razor iron suit thing that he had with the little deadly batarangs that shot out.
The Batman 700 suit
Okay.
or whatever number it was.
They're also doing an approximation of Adam West Batman in that scale.
Weird.
Yes.
Yep.
Are they at least giving it a different body sculpt?
No, same body sculpt, but
Oh.
looks like unique molded utility belt, gloves, boots.
Okay,
face.
but see, like the thing is, the standard body type has the upper body being larger and the lower body being kind of smaller, and you need to reverse that for Adam West.
No, that was Batman.
Yeah.
That was Batman 500. God, that was forever ago.
Yeah, that's what I said. In 2015, we're getting this. A character from about 20, 25 years ago who was freaking awesome.
Don't say 25 years ago.
Yeah, I will.
And then there's that Batmobile they're doing for the DC animated collectible line.
Oh, that looks nice.
Hey, John.
Yo, what's up?
Had no idea if you wanted to be on or not, but you signed on, so we added you.
Sure, I'm hanging out. I'll chime in as needed. I'm doing Get the Skinny stuff.
Oh, I need to write up my review real quick. At least my bullets for that.
I'm just wondering, didn't we talk about this like 2 years ago,
Probably.
1 year ago?
And it came out.
And it came out. So, what's this, a scaled down one?
I don't know.
It's important enough it's getting its own stall.
Hmm.
I don't know. It just feels like deja vu to me that all this is still like being put out, which is cool because nostalgia. But I feel like we've already like reported on this like 2 toy fairs ago.
I think it had a limited release. It's in some places, and then I just finally saw the figures myself for the first time at like Kmart a few weeks ago. So
Yeah, just mad strange. Oh no, you're getting an alternate Adam West head to go with the Batman head, so you can have Adam West's head.
yes,
Yes,
Huh.
that's cool.
yes, with the Batcave set that comes with the Bat computer and everything.
That is awesome.
Does it come with bat labels too?
Yes.
Bat Shark repellent.
Okay, how about Star Trek uniforms for your pets?
No thanks.
Yeah.
They're not going to sell a lot of red ones.
Yeah, this is sort of like a death wish for your animal, isn't it?
Kind of like the command chair pet bed. Oh, Plush Enterprise 2 toy. That's great.
I suppose for the purposes of the stream, apparently there's going to be a sequel to the Ninja Turtles movie. Yay!
Hooray.
Yay! We talked about this before the stream. That's a thing.
It is most
That's
definitely a thing.
Will Michael
But I
Bay
mean-
just straight up make this one instead of Transformers 5?
Maybe.
The last rumor I'd heard is the guy that directed Ninja Turtles may be directing Transformers 5.
Yeah, so Michael
And that
Bay's clone will
sounds so
be directing
plausible,
instead of
too.
Michael Bay.
His Bizarro clone. He's not.
His
he's
life
he's an
decoy
imperfect
model.
Michael Bay.
He actually makes things less interesting.
And, if you want a sex toy of R2-D2, there he is.
Oh, sign me up. So, how much does this cost? Where can I get it?
It'll cost you absolutely nothing because it's already in the bin in the back of Toy Fair. just have words with Diecast. He's there. It may have had some use. Has 3 working Aura ports. One for the head, one for the bottom. For that. Anyway, before this gets too risque, it does kind of look
Really?
like an incredible sheep in some angles.
So, giant cell phones.
Yes.
Yes! Are not inflatable R2s.
No,
Oh,
they're not.
good.
Okay, apparently Diecast is headed to his Mezco appointment next, so...
Okay.
So, what does Mezco do?
I don't know.
Stuff? Let me look it up.
Presumably something related to toys.
Are they the people who do the reaction figures, or is that somebody else?
Maybe?
I know I've heard their name before, I just can't remember what they do.
Gentle Giant, I think, is doing the reaction figures.
Okay.
Oh, wait, hang on.
See, they do
think.
looks like larger scale collectible figures in Mortal Kombat at the moment.
Oh, good. Hey, I saw in Mortal
they come
Kombat.
with-
This is kind of good. They're making like a point of in the next Mortal Kombat game making the women more realistically proportioned. Like that's a thing, which
Okay.
is a good thing.
'Cause
Yeah.
that has to be a good thing when you make a game about tearing out your enemy's spine.
Well, presumably, yeah.
So our friend Slander just tweeted, "Roll 20s, not joints." I love that. Sorry, I just have to point that out.
More importantly, along with stuff for your pets, you can have a turbo thing for them to lie on and pretend it's a runabout. Yay.
I thought it was supposed to be the captain's chair, but
Isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it is. I can see now. It looked like a shuttle. I'll shut up now.
So Diecast apparently is misspelling Mezco also.
yes.
No, he's making it look better.
Anyway, Mortal Kombat stuff.
Kind of hard to believe that's still a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, kinda.
Video game, Sony's taking it on and they're doing more games. Well, there's more games. You're going to have the merchandise to go with the games, so... I know there's some people that really, really, really are happy that it's still a thing. Not sure they would buy the toys, though.
And Breaking Bad figures, which
Yeah, they scare me.
That's going to be a thing for frickin' ever.
They scare me. Who wants an army of Walter Whites? All
Good
just looking
intimidation
at you.
tool.
Just looking at you with the full power of Bryan Cranston.
You want the Walter White army when it's on your side.
Yeah.
Until Godzilla steps on him.
Am I the only person here that liked Godzilla?
Yeah, I liked it.
I liked it.
liked
I
I
don't
like.
know if I liked it or not.
I loved it.
My wife has seen it about 10 or 20 times now between us watching it in the cinema and it coming out on Blu-ray. She's
Godzilla.
Godzilla 2014. There you go, that perked her up. Ah, Godzilla!
Oh, bring her on.
Look,
What
you're-
is the prevailing like criticism of that movie? I didn't even know there was like anti-Godzilla people.
Well, the most prominent thing I always heard was there's not enough Godzilla in it.
Which, has anyone ever watched a Godzilla movie?
Apparently
Oh.
not.
God. That was a bad era in the Japanese movies, though, when the Son of Godzilla turned up. It was even worse than the second one when they dubbed it and they gave him this goofy type voice. It was intelligent.
My other complaint is that the human we get instead of Godzilla is pretty frickin' terrible.
Yeah, incredibly, incredibly boring.
He is boring, and I was obviously, like everybody, I was hoping it would be Bryan Cranston through the whole thing. But
Yeah, that would have made it much
that was
more,
that was the worst part.
much more.
If I do have one critique, it was that it was so blatantly obvious he was a glorified guest star in there, and they outright lied to us as to his actual starring in the film. But I'm not all that bothered about the main crux of the story. It seemed perfectly serviceable enough to me. I'd take that over the freaking first American movie any day.
I like
You
that
know.
movie.
And you're perfectly okay to like that movie. The Japanese love that movie so much they brought him back so they can smite him down like a jabroni.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that.
That was a little spiteful.
Yeah.
Also, like
Yeah.
their movies haven't been so like hot in the last 15 years either. Like their take on Godzilla hasn't been so sweet either.
Well, I don't know what's going on, but they're making their own remake now as well. I thought this was partly the remake because they helped make this movie. So
I guess we screwed it up so bad they want to call do-over.
that's how we got new Dragon Ball movies.
that's why we haven't got any more Kamen Rider.
To be honest, it's amazing we got Dragon Knight at all after Saban's Masked Rider.
I want to see that eventually.
Yeah, but how they hard pitched that to Japan to get the rights was, we can promise you, we're not Masked Rider. We're certainly not going to be Masked Rider.
They weren't.
They won an
They
Emmy.
took the Jews. They certainly weren't.
They weren't. It was just too. They went too original with it. Like it wasn't. They needed to make it. They needed to Power Ranger it more still than they did.
Yeah. I mean,
It
don't
was
get
not audience. It wasn't audience friendly, is what I was trying to say.
I mean, the only reason why I still prefer Ryuki to Dragon Knight, other than the fact it's just a lot more atmospheric from its native country, is the fact that ultimately the storyline in that confused the bejeebers out of me in the end. Whereas, we're all secretly from a parallel universe, and there's like another like duplicate of this guy with a different name and all that other stuff. And once all that came around, I was like, yeah, you're fun, you're still okay, you're just confused the bejeebers out of me. But at least it kind of like wasn't like the ending of Ryuki, and I don't want to really spoil that for anybody, so I will keep quiet from that point on.
I ended up not liking Ryuki.
I like the characters in Ryuki. The storyline in
A couple of
Ryuki,
them.
not as much.
A couple of the characters in Ryuki were okay.
So, hey,
Diecast just
Thundercats.
posted pictures of Thundercats.
Hey! Okay.
Original
Just what I
Thundercats.
wanted.
Because
I
that
was
sure
thinking to
didn't
myself,
die
there was
yet.
a severe lack of Thundercats merchandise in this world in 2015.
I saw someone on Twitter yesterday say we live in a world where G.I. Joe wasn't at Toy Fair at all, but Thundercats is.
I'm still wondering that they're doing exactly the same thing Bandai did a couple or so years ago. Yeah.
Who's got Thundercats now?
Mezco.
Is that however the hell you spell it?
Looks exactly the same as the Bandai one.
That's kind of
So it'll sit on Toys R Us shelves for like 8 months?
Oh, it's
They-
probably still there, actually.
It doesn't look like it's actually got any kind of articulation, so these are probably more statues than anything. But the fact that it's yet again Lion-O and Tigra, you know, if you really want to impress us, do your starting lineup with something other than Tigra, because it just feels like yet again, you know, we've been there, done that. Give us Chitara, give us Panthro,
Give us Mumra.
give us Mumra, give us a badass Mumra. That would work, but at the moment, this is just retreading old ground, so it's not really blowing me away.
Yeah.
And I'm still looking at these Walter Whites. Give it its dues, that last one with him as Heisenberg, that does look good. I might actually get that one. That is pretty cool.
Looking at
Yeah.
Mezco's site, I see I guess they did a Mumra, like a 14-inch Mumra, which is sold out. And then I also see on their site, they also have Earthworm Jim and Mars Attacks. So they're on the cutting edge of licensing, I see.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I still have a box full of the Playmates Earthworm Jim figures from the 90s somewhere.
Some of those were decent.
We're having a bit of a 90s resurgence here. I mean, Mortal Kombat's around. We've got Jean-Paul Vallée as Batman again in an action figure form. It's a thing.
Didn't they just put out Earthworm Jim on DVD?
Did they?
I thought I read something about that.
I liked watching Earthworm Jim.
That was a decent show.
I think there were some
Yeah.
second season episodes I missed.
That was back when we didn't have a WB station here, and I had to try and watch that and Pinky and the Brain on the DC station. Some days it worked, some days no.
Okay, yeah, it's on Amazon and it's only $10.
Hey,
Cool.
wish Pinky and the Brain was that cheap. For, like, all of it.
I still want to get hold of a few DVDs over from your end of the world, because we're not getting Sailor Moon here at all anytime soon, or GoBots, or that Jew Ranger that Shout Factory's putting out, and that sucks.
Well, that should be coming out soon too.
Yeah.
Jew Ranger already has. It's out now. But GoBots and Sailor Moon is a real kicker that I cannot get those affordable.
Amazon has not contacted me about Jew Ranger or mailed me one, so
It should be pretty soon, though. I believe they said end of February.
Well, this is the middle, so
Did I
Yep.
misread it then? Could it have been? Because I thought it was the 12th of February and not the... Let me have a look, because I've had it on my watch list as well.
Oh, hey, you can get Street Sharks, the complete series, also for $13.
okay.
Are we talking about wonderful things you can buy on Amazon?
We are.
Yeah!
So if
Look,
you'd like to buy the complete series of Earthworm Jim or Street Sharks, go to tfradio.net/Amazon.
Tell us, where can you find that again in other revenues?
tfradio.net/Amazon.
Kicks back a little money to Brian so he can continue to pay for the show.
Yeah, I'm just like going to completely stop if I don't get like Amazon. No, I'm kidding. 'Cause, like listening to podcasts that say, keep this podcast free. Well, I'm not going to pay for it.
Yeah.
And you have a pretty good stream of revenue. So I'm not really exactly too worried. But you know what? I'm not a multi-million-dollar corporation, so maybe I might close shop if we don't get Amazon. So
Maybe by keep this podcast free, they mean they need bail money paid.
yeah. No, I really do like the Amazon thing though, because it doesn't cost anything extra for somebody to use it. They just have to remember to go to tfradio.net or use the thing.
Yeah.
People are pretty good about doing it. I have friends that do it. It's like, oh yeah, oh man, I bought this on Amazon, but I forgot to use your link. I'm like, just the fact that you remember once in a while is great.
Can you like bookmark the link?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll do
Here we
that.
go. So yeah, just looking at it now. Released on February 17th, 2015. So sorry about
okay.
that.
But yeah, it's really cool.
Still close, though.
Tuesday.
Yep.
Like we don't.
And if you'd like to buy your Shout Factory Jew Ranger DVD set, go to tfradio.net/Amazon and order it right now.
Exactly, and you don't have to shell for something that you don't believe in. I totally believe in the power of Amazon. I think it's great. And most importantly, I don't have somebody like who is specifically like in this space, like a toy retailer. So I listened to your show and I didn't like the opinion that you had on that. Can you change that? You never have to worry about it with Amazon. So, and yeah, so Amazon's like the perfect sponsor. So we love it. tfradio.net/Amazon. Making sausage.
Well, we're just doing what we would normally be doing during a show anyway.
Yeah.
Making so subtle references to tfradio.net/Amazon, where you can buy millions of fine products and help the podcast out.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Diecast has just tweeted some pics of Sons of Anarchy figures from Mezco.
Also, a 12-inch Heisenberg.
Oh wow! What's that Thundercats thing?
It's
A
Thundercat.
statue.
Who cares?
Yeah,
Oh wow! I'm just looking at their Batmobiles.
yeah, those are pretty cool.
The Sons of Anarchy figures look pretty nice.
I've never watched that show.
Yeah, I mean,
No, but I'm talking like the sculpt quality looks really good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
These look like Peatball.
And they're doing-
Oh, Judge Dredd.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
So in
The
the
giant shoulders, even.
UK, is Judge Dredd like your Superman?
I wouldn't say he's our Superman. Oh my
Batman?
god, no. That you? No, not even our Batman. He'd arrest Batman. In fact, there's a comic book where he tried. Yeah, he's. Well, I mean, anybody here seen Dredd, the movie Dredd? Not the one with Stallone.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw
the
that.
one with Carl Urban.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought it was
Dredd is
pretty
a-
good.
I am
That-
the
yeah,
law.
it's really good.
The
I don't
characterization.
care about Judge Dredd, and I love that movie. That was a really good movie.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
neither. I liked. I thought that the plot. I thought that the villain wasn't that great, but
No, but
everything else about it I thought was awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, it was an adaptation of one of the very first strips they did for Judge Dredd when they went to pitch it to the comic book makers. So it's pretty cool. So if you take that Dread, that's pretty much what he's like in our comic books. But if you also have a sort of tongue-in-cheek sort of parody / satire around the place, where everything's sort of not comical, but you know what they're going for.
Oh my god! It's Dark Knight Batman versus the Mutant Leader.
Oh wow.
I need that.
Yeah. So no, he's not like our Superman, but he is a big deal here in the UK.
Oh, these are the so Mezco is the company that did that Batman figure that I have pre-ordered from Big Bad. Ah, that makes sense. So that really awesome Dark Knight Batman, they have one in blue and one in black. Wants them both.
Well, you could order one from tfradio.net/Amazon.
That's exactly right. In fact, I want to see if it's on Amazon right now. I didn't even think about that.
Make sure you do it through your own site so you can pay yourself.
Yes. I can't do that, or I would. Believe me.
Yeah, they kind of frown on that, don't they?
I think you used to be able to.
Not that it
That
really,
is-
help that much.
That is a pretty good display with Batman.
Wow, it's more expensive on Mezco. I'm going to go to tfradio.net/BBTS. I'm going to get it there.
But hey, I mean, if Mezco's doing both Judge Dredd and Batman, they can do another one of these displays based on Judgment on Gotham, which was a graphic novel that came out in the early 90s, where it was Batman versus Judge Dredd. So that'd be pretty sweet to see.
Here's the toy on Amazon, though. I really want this figure. It has like two Batman faces, like haggard and grizzled, that you can choose from. It's pretty phenomenal. Want it? Let's see here. Any other cool news pop up or anything? Probably not.
Doesn't look like it.
So, Paladin, what are you most excited about from this year's Toy Fair?
I'd have to give it a toss-up between Devastator or Magnus.
We are two of a kind. I agree with you.
Well, I think most people are at that opinion.
Exactly. That's statistically very likely that most people are going to agree with you.
I'm actually going to throw the Protectobots in there too, because I think they look really awesome, especially in their individual forms.
Yeah. And Defensor looks okay.
I like Defensor. Rook does look pretty beefy as an arm, but he's going to be a leg for me anyway. I'll go G1 style and have blades and first aid be the arms.
Yeah.
I'm not all that impressed by them, but I will like to see these molds once they reuse them as Combaticons.
And Anthony had suggested yesterday to Hasbro, Anthony Bercali from TFE.info, that he could see some potential, Technobots from these. And he said they were pretty cagey about it and said that wasn't in the works, but who knows?
Maybe they're being cagey.
Go ahead.
I was going to say maybe they're being cagey about it, and the fact that people using the context of repainting this into Computron, because maybe they're doing an original one, but they can't say that yet.
Yeah, we have the inventory.
We've seen the inventory listing for Scattershot. Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Right, it's a safe bet that Scattershot will be a Silverbolt / Cyclonus repaint.
Maybe.
Yeah, probably.
Most
Maybe.
likely.
I would actually like to see something a little more original. That would be nice, but
Yeah.
Well,
the
I
thing
mean,
is-
think about.
I wouldn't mind originals too, but obviously Combiner Wars is a series with a budget.
yeah.
Yeah,
about
it is.
food-
But
Wow, we're really talking over each other today. It's great.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if you look at the model they've been putting through, it's been, at the moment, a series of originals with two potential repaints, either as a limb or a torso. And each of them so far has only been used at least once that we know of. I mean, with the Silverbolt being repainted into Cyclonus, you could argue maybe they're not going to get it repainted a second time around. But at the same time, there was enough retooling on that Cyclonus that I suppose you could get away with it.
I mean, Hotspot's based on Optimus, right?
No.
Is it not?
No.
No.
That's actually a
Hotspot's
new
an original
mold.
It's a
mold.
new
Wait,
mold?
you weren't
Hot-
joking?
No.
Hotspot,
Hotspot looks amazing.
It does look
Go look
amazing.
at that right now.
Hotspot is amazing, and everyone's picking out the fact that from his silhouette, both in robot and in truck mode, that is Onslaught.
Which
It
seems
is.
pretty
Yeah,
likely.
okay. That makes more sense.
Which, when you think about it, again, 2 original molds with a few repaints, and those original molds then get repurposed into other characters. It's
Well,
the way that Scramble City's been, not Scramble City, Combiner Wars have been doing this since the start of the line.
Well, I think that Silverbolt won the first round of fan voting too, as the torso. So that's another repaint we'll get of that.
Yeah. I guess you can get, if they want, you could maybe get Scattershot out of Silverbolt.
Oh, you totally could.
You
Yeah.
totally could. Even if you do the amount of remolding that was done on Cyclonus, which is pretty extensive, you could get a Scattershot easily.
Okay, no, he's clearly
Honestly-
not. No, he's clearly not a repaint of Optimus Prime. Okay.
No kidding.
Well, I was
No,
thinking, robot mode. Robot mode. He's like he has the chest thing.
He looks
has
nothing like Optimus
No.
Prime.
He has Optimus Prime
No.
head. Okay, sorry.
Just stop talking.
Information overload.
Don, stop talking.
Oh, screw
We can't
you.
hear Brian.
No,
Uh,
like I was saying on Twitter yesterday, it's nice and all that Groove was included, but I keep thinking the chest is going to end up looking better without it.
Yeah.
Just like on Minosaur.
Yeah.
Okay, it's very clearly not Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
Very clearly.
You're
know,
looking
in-
at
in
it
def-
that intensely.
In Defensor mode, I can guess kind of sort of seeing making that mistake because the proportions are more similar to Ultra Prime than they are to Superion, definitely.
I'm just
But
for some reason, even though obviously it doesn't make sense necessarily with having a remold, but his head is very, very Optimus Prime-esque. I don't.
oh
know.
yeah,
I was kinda-
always was.
The thing I'm thinking here is between the parts they've added to the tooling for Cyclonus, the original Silverbolt parts, they could add a couple of extra new things and just kind of mix and match the elements they have now already and get a good scattershot out of Silverbolt without a lot of extra trouble. Just change the nose cone out for a cannon piece and, to be really clever, make the front of the cannon come off to be a handheld weapon in robot and combiner mode.
Make it a giant crossbow.
Oh, whatever.
I'm just saying,
Uh,
just keep ripping off third-party ideas
Oh,
just to rub it
yeah.
in the face.
Did you see what I
Yes.
just put in the chat? The Digibash someone did of Devastator in Diaclone colors.
I had not seen that previously.
I want that.
That's frightening.
I want
Oh,
it.
it's Walgreens.
Yeah, I want it. I want it.
Well, we're probably
That's
only getting the
okay.
yellow repaint.
Yeah, I
like
mean, I'm imagining yellow for SDCC, and then maybe orange will turn up on Amazon or Toys R Us in 2017. 2016, I mean, sorry.
No,
I
you
do
could be
look
right.
forward to
Yeah.
Fun Pub getting a hold of a lot of these molds. Should be fun.
And look how retoolable they've been so far already. FunPub probably can just swap around some parts from the different retools and get something out of them.
Yeah.
Now, if FunPub started doing the fan subscription service, entire
Full
waves of
combiner team.
combiners, that would sell really well.
I like a fan subscription service combiner instead of an exclusive combiner each year, like the combiner parts.
Yeah,
And
and that would be
that
an
would probably
outlet
be-
to get G2s.
Yeah.
oh no! Don't waste G2s on FunPub. Do like Guard City and Battle Gaia.
Yeah,
Oh God, don't say that.
Guard City and Battle Gaia.
No, don't say that.
FunPub, do Guard City and Battle Gaia.
I did,
Yeah.
God, yeah, that's exactly what I want. Damn it. Yeah, I would buy that. Oh, Diecast
Oh,
just
this is-
tweeted to you.
Yeah, that's a neat Mega Bloks kit he got from the booth there.
oh nice.
Again, he's a trooper. John, this is how good we talk about you when you're at BotCon tweeting away. It's like, John,
Oh, yeah.
that's awesome.
My iPhone's like on fire.
Yeah,
His probably is too.
yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
So did he get a Zodak or what is this? It's a
I
box.
believe he did get a Zodak, yes.
Hopefully they gave it to him.
I think that's the idea, yeah.
Good. I wouldn't buy Zodak.
I mean, he's been getting all kinds of stuff
I'm certain
on
it's
his
not,
various.
I'm certain it's not enough though to pay us for the trip.
No.
And I'm certainly not footing the bill for it, so he is a trooper. I love him.
And either way, I don't think it's going to patch over, the dents to his marriage that the timing of this trip probably has caused.
Yeah, Kim. Yeah, his Kim is a very understanding Kim. So is mine.
Oh,
What does Jamie think of all your nerdings, John? Is she cool with it? She has to be at this point.
Yes, or we'd be going to counseling at this point.
Couldn't she do the counseling though? She's a psychologist.
No, only if I had
Is there,
like
a
the
conflict
mind
of
of
interest
a
there?
2 or 3 year old, which I might.
Like,
But no, I'm a little too advanced for her training. I concentrate everything in my office, so that helps.
Yeah.
as the only person in this call whose wife is literally sitting across the room from him right now, I have to say that my wife is an incredibly understanding person and a beautiful member of society.
Yes, you do.
But when
Who
you
has a
lead
giant
into
cell
it-
phone?
When you
Who
lead
has a
into
giant
it
cell
that-
phone?
When you lead into it that way, though,
Okay, so
cell phone.
go on, Chris. Say again.
No, just when you lead into your comments about your wife that way, it just makes it sound so much less sincere.
It's very sincere. It is very sincere.
And when you look at her and smile that way as you say that, that's not helping anything.
She puts up with a lot of me.
Yes, I do.
Yes, she does. She likes the toys that are all around her right now in this room,
Well, that's
including this lovely pyramid that's beside me right now.
How's that to 19?
She, oh.
Oh my, is anyone even watching this right now? But I'm checking. Yes, there are there. So we can keep going.
Like, how many hundreds are watching this?
Not. We're not in the hundreds. We're in the dozens.
If you're in the call right now, if you're watching this, say yo in the chat.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Has to be yo.
has to be yo. Yeah. No, yesterday we got I think about 1,000 people.
Oh, nice.
Not at once. But yeah, pretty good. Enjoyable.
It was
Worth doing.
That's not bad considering it was Valentine's Day too.
Yeah, but also we're talking about nerds, so
Mm-hmm.
Nerds have wives. We're proof.
it's true.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, like, looking at various message boards and stuff, the average age of a fan has advanced,
Oh, yes.
and with
Not
that, the lifestyle has also changed.
True.
Oh,
So
God.
there's a lot.
Not in
more
all cases.
a lot more. Yeah, Paladin, what's up with that? In a lot of cases, the majority have, if not girlfriends, they have wives, even kids. It's not such the stereotype that we still uphold from the late 90s.
Yeah.
Yep. One person said yo. So hi Cassius335.
Cassius isn't on the video though, so
Sorry, in the chat.
true. Okay. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think Cassius is probably the only person.
People watching the chat, I said say yo.
Oh, yes. So yeah, stuff. Toy fair.
My Ultra Magnus has a cockpit. He has a comfy chair. He has a joystick. He's not afraid to use it.
2 joysticks. 2 joysticks.
2 joysticks even. Dual
Yeah.
wielding. He has monitors.
He doesn't need monitors, no, because his head sticks up into the Ultra Magnus head. That's how he sees out.
You still have a heads down display. If you look down and you see this stuff.
Well, he'd have to like pull his head down inside. That'd be very uncomfortable and impractical.
Stuff that he inputs into the computers to tell him from his readout display at the top whether they're a good person or a bad person or potential
That
troublemaker.
would be in the head. It's he's got like an Iron Man thing inside the Magnus helmet.
So how's
Like,
the input that just knocks for yes or twice for no?
Well, I want this to be sort of reflected in More Than Meets the Eye some point down the road, where like Magnus takes his Magnus helmet off and it's just a little Minimus head and maybe shoulders there, and Rodimus just looks over and could you not? Because it's creepy little head.
Oh,
Body.
I just had a thought. It's not a true representation of the character for the toy now, because there's inside Minimus Ambus is an even smaller Minimus Ambus.
No. Now, I'm based on the scale to tailgate. I'm going to say this is irreducible Minimus, the smallest state of him, and we actually need like a third party or something to make an intermediate frame to plug the little one in. That's the intermediate Minimus.
There you go. We've just sussed it out for them. We want
And see, I've sort of worked it out a little bit in my head. So like you take the vehicle mode one that comes with Ultra Magnus and plug that into the middle, and then the whole frame would transform around it into the slightly bigger, like truck-ish, like pickup truck style vehicle mode he was seen with in a couple of panels.
The Minesweeper, yeah.
Yeah. Now, of course, that wouldn't be able to interact directly with this Ultra Magnus toy, but can't have everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking about what Rob was suggesting yesterday too, like to make something to replace the cab on Ultra Magnus, and I looked at some of the extra pictures that had turned up, and it looks like the swivel for the cab to turn in front of the trailer is just held on by a screw, so that could be taken off and replaced with something else. The thing is, I see it being a problem to make like a cab that can house little Minimus Ambus and still transform into its own robot. And like do and still fit in the torso and do everything it needs to do acceptably. I think that would be kind of a problem. I think you need to kind of compromise a little bit.
Yeah.
Besides, if they make the if they size it right, then you could have the intermediate Minimus figure ride in the car carrier trailer too, since that fits normal legend size figures. Basically, I have all these design ideas in my head that I can't do anything with, and it's frustrating.
Make it like a version of the Minicon deployer that can shoot Minimus directly into the Ultra Magnus cockpit as you transform.
So we only got kind of a look at it. Does it look like Magnus can transform without moving Minimus, or does it go against the character?
I think the Ultra Magnus head goes down into the cavity in the cab.
Yeah, it sure looks like it.
So I don't think you would actually be able to leave him in there the whole time, unfortunately. Also, like, Minimus's head sticks up higher than the roof of the cab.
Yeah.
So that would also be kind of a problem. I kind of don't like that aspect just because Minimus is so much smaller in vehicle mode than what that trailer is designed to carry.
Yeah.
It's like half the width of the Generations Legends figures it's designed for, and it doesn't really look good. It doesn't look like it fits in when it's carried on the back. It needed some kind of better integration in vehicle mode.
Well, what you'll do is you'll get Generations Hoist, and you'll have him towing Minimus on the back, and then that'll work.
I don't even think Minimus has wheels, so it'd be more like dragging and towing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it looks small enough you can put that spike that came with Masterpiece Optimus Prime into it, though. So you can still do that.
I want to know what reusing this mold for.
Yeah. If
Like,
anything.
Well, they'll do something with it because it's a leader mold.
Jinrai?
Powered Convoy.
That's what I say. I'll always take powered convoy colors.
Yeah.
Man, if they did this as like Fire Guts Jinrai.
Somebody mentioned Power Master Optimus Prime yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, retool that cab a little bit, give it a different minifigure to go with that, turns into something that plugs on the front and looks kind of engine-ish. There's totally, way to do that, but I don't think they would do a non-combining Optimus when, they've got two versions of Optimus and the combining price points.
Yeah.
Oh, just to clarify the Viper from yesterday for anyone watching the stream now, the logo that's on the front of him actually appears on the original Cobra Rattler. It's on the box art and everything. It's the Cobra Air symbol.
Cool.
Well, I'm actually kind of surprised we didn't see the white Optimus repaint this year.
SDCC or BotCon.
Speaking of, I wonder if they could make that leader Ultra Magnus into a decent Thunderclash.
Maybe. But what would be the little figure inside of it?
Yeah.
Or would you just see them like completely redoing the cab part?
They could, if they wanted to leave that feature out.
Homage to Action Master Optimus Prime. They got to give him the most orangest of the missiles.
Okay, so yeah, you paint up the Ultra Magnus body like the armored convoy. You make a little Optimus Prime figure that can sit inside of it. So it's Action Master Optimus and his transforming trailer.
Yep, that's the one.
I kind of dig the concept, but I don't think they'll do it.
But he's got to have the Cheeto launchers. He's got to have missiles that are so orange they might as well be Cheetos.
Orange. You're speaking my language, man.
Yeah, it's got to happen. I'm down with that.
I want to see them just go all out crazy and somehow retool this Magnus into Starsaber.
Yeah.
You replace the truck cab with a little jet, and the Minimus figure becomes the Brain of Courage, and it just, does the Brain Master thing.
Yeah, you replace that half of the toy, and then you replace the entire back half of the toy with something else, and
right.
It's Starsaber.
Yeah.
Potentially, this Ultra Magnus could actually open the floodgates to similar toys coming out, like original molds. You could have motivators. That'd be pretty cool. Have them with their own little cockpits, similar to Magnus. Just put them in. Don't even have to do the Brain Master gimmick. Just have that as a thing in itself. Just have them as their mech suits. It's a given. It's gold. And then have them combine.
I haven't looked around a lot for the fan reaction to Ultra Magnus outside of select places where I know I can count on a certain signal to noise ratio. I'm kind of wondering what the general reaction is being to this toy basically playing Ultra Magnus as just, a powered mech suit rather than, a dude wearing a suit of armor like it's always been.
It's an interesting way anyway. It's a nice way to incorporate it as a toy rather than have it be a piece former, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, and the thing I like too is a couple people got videos of Minimus being put into the torso. There's one over at asmzine.com too in their Generations gallery. And in one of the videos, I think they actually were saying, they designed it so the Ultra Magnus is self-contained, the head is articulated by itself and everything, so if you lose the Minimus Ambus figure, as kids are going to do eventually probably, Ultra Magnus still completely works on its own. This is just like a little hidden bonus. And I like that design philosophy in it, and it makes it so people who don't want it to be a mech suit can still just have their self-contained Ultra Magnus and pretend to be happy with their lives.
Maybe stuff little Matrix in there, and yeah.
Well, if it's an accurate Ultra Magnus, a Matrix won't fit in there.
So I never freaking got, because in the cartoon you saw him with his little thing to put it in there.
Yeah.
But it was never really his thing. It was Rodimus Prime's thing. So
yeah.
Didn't even fit in there properly. You had to adjust it to try and put it in there.
Or you take the metal Matrix from the Battle in Space set and put that in there, so you give him a Matrix that he can't open.
That's it.
Do you remember the little mini statue thing that was Magnus holding the handle to the Matrix while the Matrix itself was like broken at his feet?
Yeah,
it fell apart when he tried to open it, and he looked so sad. That was the best thing. I always wanted one of those. I was so sad I couldn't get. All you can get now is the powered convoy colored version, which there's no connection there.
No.
So that was one of the best. That was one of the best things merchandise wise for Ultra Magnus.
Yeah. But then Ultra Magnus has been my boy for many years anyway. I mean, I always really liked him from the UK comic anyhow. I mean, anybody ever read Target 2006?
I've read parts of it.
Oh, read it. It's such a strong opening for Ultra Magnus than any other media he's ever been in. That guy really holds his own through that story.
Yeah, it kind of was the whole Ultra Magnus versus Galvatron thing that's been carried on in other media since.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when you got him literally doing a suicide run with him and Galvatron, and he's like, Galvatron's like, aren't you just going to stop? It was like, no, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to run us both down. And that's our hero saying that. I'm going to take us both out.
You really need a new Galvatron figure.
God, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And a
Unfortunately,
combiner doesn't
Galvatron
count.
is gonna. Yeah, Galvatron is gonna probably put that off for another couple of years at least.
Unless Takara cranks one out with the MP.
Eventually, they'll have to. If the line continues, that could still be years away.
I mean, we could, somehow or other end up seeing, old Takara resurface itself, and they'll like tool new parts for Leader Megatron, a new head and new chest piece. Just make that a Galvatron.
Let's hope not.
I'm disappointed. Remember the War for Cybertron Megatron toy?
Yeah, of course.
Put a new head on that. Give it a Galvatron deco. It wouldn't be perfect. It'd be better than the deluxe we have. And I mean, that's not my favorite mold of all time, but it's good enough.
Yes, it is. It is your favorite mold of all time. You know that.
Any
No,
mold
it's
is a
not
good
Jazz.
mold for anybody. Like, for instance, that IDW Stealth Bomber Megatron looks crap as Megatron, always did, but when you repaint that thing as any other character, it seems to work.
Or when you leave it the same colors and put a different head on it and call it Croc, like FunPub's doing.
There are, of course, some examples.
Well, and like the IDW Bumblebee figure is terrible as Bumblebee, but it's good in its other uses.
As Nightbeat, as Siren, yeah.
Oh, even Goldfire was better than Bumblebee.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just need that thing repainted as Minerva now, and then you've got, like, the full spectrum.
No, what you do
hell.
is take... No, if,
Tell it
if
it's a
the,
hose head.
no, if the Nightbeat alternate parts still exist for the Jazz mold, just take all that stuff and do that as Minerva.
Yeah. There you go, customizers. Cannibalize your rare toy, and you've got yourself a Minerva. How much did you spend on that original toy? Oh, okay.
Well, remember all the like custom Devastators and other combiners that were made out of like Unicron parts and everything?
Mm.
All that stuff was expensive too. Well, no, everybody used Unicron parts because Unicron was bigger, and of course Devastator has to be huge, which is something Hasbro is upholding now.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I like Hasbro's reasoning for how big Devastator is though, because
He's awesome.
they wanted the construction vehicle modes to be as much in scale with the Stunticon vehicle modes as possible. So, I'm not super thrilled with an 18-inch tall Devastator and foot tall other combiners, but I still like the reasoning they have. It
Yeah,
makes sense to me.
At least it's anchored to something, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it'll be better when we get an Omega Supreme to fight him.
Yes. Yes.
And then Omega Supreme will only be 13 inches tall.
No, it'll be Titan.
No, it'll be a
Well,
Titan, but it'll only be 13 inches tall. It'll still be $150, but it'll be 13 inches tall. Don't worry.
As long as it exists. I really want a new Omega Supreme, too.
Would be nice. I mean, they could do good stuff with an Omega Supreme. I don't think we could get something that'd be like, all-in-one self-contained transforming, but, they can probably get pretty close with it.
They could take a look at that animated design and just make a spaceship. Just saying.
I don't know if they would end up doing like the animated style spaceship, but I could see them probably focusing on the rocket components.
Mm.
Using that as the basis and just designing around it as needed to make the robot work. Not sure exactly how offhand, but
I'm looking at Facebook, and somebody is posting a question about those metal model kits, the Transformers. And somebody said, yeah, over here, this one is definitely MP5 and Chrome, so are we getting that? I'm like, yeah, it's not MP5.
No.
Okay.
What was 5?
MP5 would have been,
Megatron, wasn't it?
yes.
I thought it
think
was 3.
so.
Oh yeah, MP2 was
No, Starscream
Starscream.
was 3.
Okay.
Yeah, 1 and 2 were both Optimus Prime.
Well, 2 was Magnus, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
Magnus?
Optimus Prime. Yeah.
Like Prime.
Optimus Blanco.
I do kind of like that, between all the various media now, we have plenty of things for Ultra Magnus to be besides White Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
He can be Blue Optimus Prime, and that is actually better, in my opinion.
That's the hot spot
and
now, according to Brian.
Yes, for anybody who missed it before, Brian Kilby is currently our Don while Don is not here.
This is true.
And while
Everybody
Triplet's
takes
not
turns
here.
being done. Take turns being done.
Yes, well, let's hope our turn never comes up.
Mine will. It probably has in the past. I just didn't notice. Rather.
Well, if so, I didn't notice either.
Good.
No, like with Fall of Cybertron Ultra Magnus, it worked for that to be just a blue of Optimus Prime because it's not a very Optimus Prime shaped robot.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where the shapes work more to suit the recolor than the original use.
Yeah.
Also had that great sword accessory.
Yeah. And I think the Beast Hunters version worked fairly well. It had some light reading,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I want to get that eventually.
Then,
Yeah,
of
the
course,
Beast
there's animated Optimus Prime. It was a completely... Ultra Magnus was a completely unique mold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice choice, too.
Yeah.
I've got it, along with 6 others of him.
Yeah, I kind of want to get a Beast Hunters Voyager Magnus, too, sometime. It has a hammer.
He does.
A
I'm
tiny
looking at
hammer.
him now.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to buy the Platinum one just for a correctly sized hammer.
Yeah, you know you're in trouble when you buy the car robot Ultra Magnus, because him on his own, not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the Robots in Disguise version. Even $30 is too much for that.
Yeah.
It is. He is. He only really works as an overcoat for Prime. He really does.
You have to feel bad for the people who originally imported that toy for like $70.
Like Don.
Yes, like
Don's not the only person we know who did that.
I know. I got mine at Walmart.
Me too.
Yeah, so did I.
Triplet did buy Fire Convoy at a convention like 2 weeks before Robots in Disguise was revealed, but you know, I only bought Super Wild Rider.
Why that one?
I liked the deco, and
Oh.
it was the cheapest one probably at the time.
Uh,
I only had that part-time job then, so I had like no money.
so, you know, I got Super Fire Convoy in probably the summer of 2000, and you know, I didn't mind when Robots in Disguise came out because I'd had the toy for a long time by then. So I mean, the value was still there for me for the extra it cost. Same with Gigatron, actually. Plus, like, the deco for Rid Megatron was a little bit different. Like, there was more green on it, and I didn't like it as much. So it still worked out until the chrome on the ear flaps started chipping off. Then it was kind of sad.
How much would a Gigatron go for these days?
I can't imagine it would be a lot.
I may decide.
Probably like $30 or $40.
I may decide
If
to
even.
buy the one that JD has, or the one we have of JD's, because that's one that I still need to sell, but I kind of don't have a Gigatron anymore.
I forgot they used that name for Heroes of Cybertron Overlord.
Yeah.
They used it over here. No, they didn't. No, I'm talking out of my backside. We had it as Overlord when the G1 one was released here.
Oh.
Mhm.
But I don't know where I heard that it was renamed Gigatron.
Hmm. Yeah, as far as I know, only the Heroes of Cybertron figure was sold as Gigatron because that was the name they owned.
Yeah. The only sealed car robots Gigatron I can find on eBay went for $78. It's the only. Oh, there's a more reasonable one for $35. Took me so long just to find either that I wasn't expecting a second one. So
I just bought the Gigatron.
there you go.
Well done. It's a nice toy.
Yeah, I don't have it anymore. The one JD has is in the box, so. I planned on buying it, but I said I don't need to. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and pull the trigger on it and get it.
Yeah.
I had the Big Lots knockoff at one point.
Oh, is that the one that also came available with a card? It came on the card, and it was and there was a carded Optimal Optimus, within the same quote unquote line.
Yeah, I had both of those actually.
Yeah, I found those. I don't know what happened to them.
I got a Heinrad from that.
One day I do want to get a real Optimal Optimus. That's pretty nice.
It is pretty good.
Yeah,
It's simple, but it's good.
Well, I'm assuming that the things that I didn't like about the knockoff would be slightly better on the real toy. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. I'd like to find out.
I wonder if there are any out
always.
there that aren't all the transmetal stuff hasn't flaked off.
I don't think Optimal Optimus really had a problem with that like the others did.
No, he did have a problem with his paint. What was the issues with the knockoff?
It was crap.
Yeah, apart from the fact it was crap.
Yeah,
The,
Robert, what were your specific problems?
The shoulder shield pieces like to pop off a lot, and the arms, the shoulder joints didn't lock down to the body very well.
Right.
The shoulder joints should lock better on a real one. The shield pieces, not so much.
Okay.
The shield pieces are still a problem with the original toy, as Chris said, but they do lock, given a lot of patience.
Yeah. There's definitely like a trick to it that you have to learn.
No.
They will eventually stay in place. If you try to they were sometimes shown mounted to the tops of the shoulders, and if you try to do that, that doesn't really work in any case. But they will click down into the forearms eventually.
I will keep that in mind.
Let's see. Has Diecast tweeted anything lately?
Well,
Not like a half an hour.
Yeah, he just thanked
That
me
is
for the Mezco spelling, but that's about it.
Anything else we want to talk about? We want to keep going?
Did he not visit Playmates today?
He visited Playmates yesterday.
I
Yeah,
guess
there was,
I guess our diecast schedule is a little bit out of date.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he's been to Bandai yet today, but I'm not sure if he's going to
He
make
went.
it in or not.
Yeah, I saw pictures of him with the Dino Charge Rangers.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's the only thing he had, so I
Yeah.
thought maybe he was going back or had more pictures or something.
I'll say, from what I saw, that White Ranger Morphard looks pretty cool. The Saber looks freaking amazing. Saber, the Legacy Saber.
Not $80 worth of amazing to me.
No, and with most of these things, it'll probably go down in price. But when it does, I'm not a role-playing guy. I'm not that interested in it. I wasn't even interested in the Dragon Dagger, but that looks beautiful.
The Dragon Dagger is amazingly beautiful. It's
yeah.
If the Dragon Dagger ever would have gone down to like $40 ish, somewhere in that range, I think I would have got one.
Yeah.
I can't really justify more than that.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, at the moment, the Legacy Morpher is £40 in my local Toys R Us, and even now, I think that's a little much.
Yeah.
If it drops down an extra tenner, I will definitely consider it. But I have played with other people's Legacy Morphers, and they're nice. They're very, very nice. But I could not justify the 60 quid it used to go for in this country.
I appreciate the Legacy Morpher for what it is. I kind of like the original better, having handled both.
Hmm.
because I get the change to the electronics to have it do more stuff and arguably have sound from the show when you push the button. I still, because it's what I had as a kid, I still like the electronic beeps when you do it and the flashing lights that just continue as long as you hold the button down. There's something about that feels more right to me.
Oh, I like my vintage Morpher. I will never get rid of it due to the fact that the sound and the lights on it is just so tacky. When you do the full dramatic, it's morphing time, then you put it up, and then it'll get. I always get a kick out of that. But the thing about the Legacy Morpher is more aesthetics than anything. I mean, if you're a Jew Ranger fan, just store it backwards, and you can see the Z and all the colours and all that, all the decos. That is pretty good. That's got to be said. And at least you don't have to fork out for repo labels to do up your vintage Morpher to do the same thing.
Right. It's also made of metal, so if you want to punch people like they did in the show, that's totally an option.
Absolutely. Because they couldn't use their own fists, so use something like a knuckle duster. Oh, yeah, the Morpher. Yeah, because at least you're not hitting them with your own fist.
Yeah. It makes your punches harder.
Yeah. This, it's a thing I will eventually get, but I just cannot dignify the price for it at the moment.
Yeah.
But that white Morpher, it does sing out to me for some reason. Even though it wasn't really a thing in the show, it does sing out to me.
What, the gold Tommy Morpher?
Yeah, the movie edition.
The movie edition where it's basically the same Morpher.
I don't like
the white decals around it.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I like it. I think it's cool.
To me that looks kind of tacky.
The thing is like if you have that and you go and buy all three Morphers, wouldn't that be pretty cool to see them on your shelf, all three lined up like that? Says the guy who won't pay more than £30 for one. So
it'd be cool, except for the movie one.
Yeah. We'll agree to disagree, but the guy who won't pay more than £30 for a Morpher said that'd be pretty cool to have all three up on my shelf. So. But yeah.
I'd like to see more stuff happen in the Legacy line. Maybe some more variety of stuff, and not just Tommy centric.
Yeah.
Well, like they said, they're doing everything chronologically, so we've got to get through all the Tommy stuff before we get some variety.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what Tommy wasn't? He wasn't Jason. Jason was there first.
Which is why I'm hoping we get a nice Golden Power Staff Legacy.
I got the swords! I got his swords right here!
Well, like I said before, you can get the old deluxe toy, and that's a pretty good fit.
It's bloody hefty, I know that much.
That thing would be huge, though. It'd cost like $100 or more.
The only way you can display that is as the pyramid. You can't really display it in shelves as its robot or much anything. You can't really have it as its carrier with all the Zords on top. As cool as that looks, there's no room for it. It's like the Rolling Thunder. I've got problems with my Rolling Thunder because I can't really put it anywhere around the house.
Just put it on your USS flag coffee table and...
Oh man, I wish I had a USS flag coffee table. Have a little key.
Or, prop it up on your Grandis.
Oh,
yeah, where's their Generations Grandis?
That's true. The biggest one ever. Bigger than Metroplex. The
Just
fattest.
use Devastator's box the way you use Legacy Titanus' box for Tor.
There you go.
And okay, I think if it's slowing down, I need to probably head out and take care of a few other things.
Cool, thanks for being on, Paladin.
All right.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Glad to be part of this.
See you Monday.
Yeah.
Talk to everyone next time.
Right.
Take care.
I will probably be following suit because I'm having dinner made, so...
What's for dinner today?
Spaghetti bolognese.
I had lasagna.
See, you can't beat a bit of lasagna.
Yeah. Do you guys want to keep going, or do we just want to cut this one loose? we usually don't go the whole full time on Sunday.
No.
And
And
it's
you have another podcast to prepare for soon too, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess we can just wrap it up. Anything we want to get out before we shove
I'll talk about the old All House for 2
Please
seconds.
do.
That's oldallhouse.weebly.com or oldallhouse.co.uk. There's various podcasts on there. There's the one that I do called Cyber Ritz, which is all about the old anime that you used to get in the 1990s on VHS, things like Project A-ko and Fist of the North Star and all those other lovely video nasties. I'm covering those. There's another show called Welcome to Kimia, which is the brand new Transformers podcast hosted by Chucky and Dark Ages. That's coming out. They're going to be recording episode 2 tomorrow, and I told them I'll plug that in since this is a Transformers podcast. Other than that, we got a new site. I've already plugged that away, and Grufflock is a beautiful, beautiful figure of a man.
He is a handsome man. Beard
He
and
is
all.
a very handsome man, and he will be overjoyed to hear that. So there you go. That's me all plugged away.
Hey, Chris, anything you want to mention before we go?
Well, there will be superhero time this week, and we will be talking about Power Rangers stuff from Toy Fair. That'll be at tokupodcast.com.
That's going to be a long one, isn't
Be
it?
watching this.
It's going to be a long one, but not just for the Toy Fair stuff.
Yeah, I think
It'll be a long one for my bad planning.
Yeah. And
I've got a week off, so I might actually be watching this one.
sweet, and I have stuff. So thank you guys for being here. This is great, and we hope everyone's had a great Toy Fair. Next year we'll do this again. So actually, I guess we're gonna do this for SDCC, but I don't think we're gonna have anybody there.
Probably not, because I think, John's sworn off of that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it, but we'll do something for BotCon, but it'll be different. Okay. So
Okay.
People watching live, we'll catch you later. Have a good one.
tfradio.net/Amazon.
Indeed.